The Premier League chief executive Richard Masters was up in front of a select committee today at the Houses of Parliament. And I am telling you now, after watching that, there's only one question that comes to mind. And is the Premier League actually corrupt? Welcome to the Footy Network. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to TFN. Hope you're doing well. And there's only one topic that I want to discuss today, and that is the Premier League corrupt? We've just seen in the last 24 hours, both Nottingham Forest and Everton getting hit with PSR charges. There's a video all about that on our FFTV channel. But I want to talk about the Premier League in specific today, because they are dying to keep themselves governed by themselves, and they don't want an independent body coming in. And they sent this idiot in, Richard Masters of nothing, man, to go in front of the select committee, and all he did was show a lack of understanding and a lack of respect about the Premier League, its history, and all the football clubs. Why? Because he literally admitted to segregating between the so-called Big Six and the other 14 clubs.
And I've tried to separate the two in the sense that I've said that those standard directions are for everybody. They're not just for the small clubs.
And I found it so insulting. I'm so mad at what he said. He called us the other small clubs. Not smaller clubs. No, let's get the wording right. Small clubs. Even smaller would have been insulting. Does he not know the heritage of some of the other 14 clubs? Does he not know that football started before the inception of the Premier League in 1992? Does he not understand these things at all? Aston Villa, European champions. Forest, my team, back-to-back European champions, league titles, Everton as well, 9 league titles. So many trophies have been won by these small clubs, as Richard called them. It's an absolute insult, and to me, shows you clearly, if that's what he's prepared to say openly in Parliament, in front of a select committee, how are the Premier League talking about our clubs? I don't care if you support Forest or if you support a club I don't like, I don't know, Sheffield United. We should all be united behind the fact that all 20 Premier League clubs should be treated equally. 100% straight down the line. And let's talk about the lack of equality that we're seeing. And I am going to call out how the Premier League are treating Man City, because he was asked about Man City's 115 cases. And when the hell are we going to hear a result on it? Let me give you a quote. They asked him, when questioned by the Culture, Media and Sports Committee at the Select Committee today, whether they could understand the fans' frustration regarding the delay to the City hearing, Masters replied back by saying, "I can, but they are very different charges. Different charges. Special charges for Man City, are they? I thought the rules were the same for everyone. If any club, whether they are the current champions or otherwise, had been found in breach of the spending rules for year 23, they would be in the exact same position as Everton or Forest," he says. I don't know if I believe that. The volume and character of these charges laid before Man City, which I cannot talk about at all. Suddenly silence grips him, are being heard in a completely different environment. That alone in itself tells you there's special treatment to the Big Six clubs. It's ridiculous. And this is the bit that annoys me. There is a date set for the proceeding. Unfortunately, I can't tell you when that will be, but that is progressing. I can't give any details on Man City beyond saying a date has been set. I can't tell you when that date is. Why? Why can't you tell us when that date is? We all know the dates that Forest and Everton have going forward with their charges on PSR. But Man City, you can't tell the date. Why don't they ask him as well? Why was it that Manchester City chose to accept their hearing? They got the choice. Could you imagine? Can you imagine? Let's just put it in a normal day scenario. Well, it's not normal, but in a courtroom scenario where someone gets charged by the police for, I don't know, armed robbery or something. And then the courts come to them and say, can you make this date? Would you be able to make this date? Can you accept this date? This is stupidity beyond contention. And all the cries from the Everton fans about the Premier League being corrupt. I'll be honest with you, I laughed and poo-pooed them when they got their charges. It wasn't until it hit my team, Forest, that you suddenly look at it and think, you know what? All the stuff they've been saying, maybe there's some legs behind it. And what I would say is, whoever you support in the Premier League or in, the lower leagues, whatever it is, maybe now is the time that we put some of our banter aside, maybe some of our rivalries aside, because we are stronger than the bigger six clubs or the way the Premier League treats them, united as one front, as one football kind of fan base front. And we could put pressure on this Premier League to sort their goddamn alleged corruption out. But I am absolutely fuming over the difference in the treatment between Everton, Forest, and the way they're treating Man City. This is a joke. What do you guys think below? Let me actually ask you the question. Is the Premier League corrupt or not in your opinion? Let me know the answer to that question in the comments.